we're not afraid to put the work in, and more seems like it would be more, and it's just not sometimes. Welcome back to another episode of the Perkfitt podcast. I have a very special guest tonight, the most special probably ever.
Oh no, come on, don't be lying already. Get out on the start here. Come on, Corey, what's going on?
My friend Sheamus.
Yeah.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming.
Honor to be here. Appreciate it. And the bit of poppy hair is pretty good, right?
Yeah, we saved it for the right moment. Feels like that was the right thing to do, or maybe not after
last night.
Last night, yeah.
We drank a lot of these last night. A lot of them.
That's right, but we can't talk about it.
No, we can't because that's in the past.
Sworn to secrecy. We're dialed in.
We're dialed in now. Well, kind of semi-dialed in, depending on what you're talking about.
Rising grind.
I'm still feeling it.
Yeah, the rise was late today. The grind still happened, but the rise was late.
The rise was early, then late, then early, then late again, or
right.
something like that.
Yeah.
What's the story, man? Thanks for having me at your home, dude.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We'll get to meet your wife or your daughter. It's awesome, man.
Yeah. Cooper's a hit. Dog's a hit with everybody, usually.
Give me a bat there. It must be a Guinness World Record there on licks, licks, about
he doesn't
10,000
stop.
licks.
He doesn't stop, and it's a problem. But
I don't think so.
He's cute. He's cute. So
affectionate dogs, man. That dogs are very affectionate. I love dogs. We have 3 at home. We had 4. I can't even imagine living in a world now without having a pup in the house. It just brightens everything up, It's great. Yeah. My wife worked with NHA for years, and she's worked in a shelter up in New York as well for a little while when we were there for a bit. And yeah, she used to be scared of dogs actually in the beginning, she said. And
really?
When she was a kid, she was like, just nothing happened. She was just intimidated by them. And then when we got together, she came home with a puppy called Dawn, and it was supposed to be a foster, and it was basically a foster fail. I was in Vegas at the time. Me and Cesaro were wrestling, I think, Enzo and Cass, and I got a FaceTime, so I thought there was something wrong because she never really calls me on days of TV because it's always hectic, and she knows that. So it's like, but I got a FaceTime thing. I was like, or maybe a text, we need to talk right now. So I saw something that happened. So she FaceTimed, and had this pup that was probably the size of this glass in her hand. So, and then he just kept adding more and more.
Yeah, I get that. I want to have another dog. But we're having another child right now, so
all right.
It's not the time to add another one. But I'm obsessed with my dog, and so I understand.
Well, also your daughter, like I think he just needs company, and the daughter's going to play with him. So that's good.
Yeah. So let's talk about how we became friends. Would you call us friends, Sheamus?
Absolutely, call you friends. Yeah, definitely a friend.
I don't want to assume.
No,
I'm totally kidding. We're really close now.
Definitely, yeah.
So how did this come to be?
No, so I kind of mentioned it briefly on the Pat McAfee show when I was there, and I was doing some stuff for Dortmund. But like, so anyone who watches wrestling remembers me coming back from this neck thing. It was pretty serious. It was like I've had some neck issues for a while. It's stenosis, but like going into my last match I think it was against Edge, but there was stuff going on there. So it was kind of a straw that broke the camel back in that match. So there was stuff happening. I took a couple of bad falls previous to that. So it was the last thing, and my neck just locked up. And I didn't know. I was going to rehab every week. I've tried like cortisone injections. I tried all these things. Yeah. And I went out to the PC now. I took a bump. It's where you fall down in the ring, and you take that impact. And when I did that, I was getting stingers, and I was like, I really thought that it was over. I really thought like this is the end. And then I met a really good neck doctor then in Vanderbilt at Thompson Lane, and he suggested that we do a ablation, where they burn your nerves in your neck.
Yeah.
So that happened. I was feeling good, and then I was pushing to come back for WrestleMania, and that didn't happen. Creatively, they were going a different direction, and then so I was like, I pushed hard, and I just kind of like. But I still wasn't anywhere near the shape I should have been. But I put a lot of weight on, so I came back well out of shape. I came back early, but that shouldn't really be an excuse. Like, it's one of the excuses I can use, but it's kind of drowning my own sorrows a little bit, like just eating whatever I wanted to eat and stuff. But then, like, from there, it was such a hard process to get back, to claw back where I was, especially 4 years ago when I was like a 228 shredded. All my macros were dialed in. Everything was great, but I felt like a zombie because Every morning I do 30 minutes of fasted cardio. I was having about 100 grams of carbs a day. Twice a week I'd have high carbs, one in the middle of the week and then one the night before TV. So I look fuller for television, but still, like, I wasn't enjoying my life. You know what I mean? It was like I was like in a pre-contest diet for 2 years, and it just wore me out. But anyway, so basically, my training was off. I wasn't into it. I wasn't having fun. And my wife's was doing the ladder up for a long time, and she kept saying, "You should do it. You should do it." And I was like, "You know what? I'll do it. Okay, I'll give it a go. Just say I did it." And then, so once I trolled through it, saw you were there. Obviously, got the bodybuilding side, which is what I wanted. Like, because there's so many different other athletes and a lot of female athletes and stuff. So I went down your route, and then right away, like the first workout, it was awesome. Like, it was just, there was things we're doing were different. What was great was all the sets and exercise we're doing were very much like, I realized very fast that I was way overtraining as well. So I was doing way too much volume.
Yeah. And
from there, like, I just got really into it, like, and then doing things that like I hadn't done before, like the flies, shoulder flies, but lying down, and, you know, doing the high rows, which are great because I've always had a problem with my upper delts, my back, like my rear delts have always sucked. So all that, you know, I just enjoyed it, and then the sets, and then like, even I talked to Drew McIntyre about this, like, because he loved the fact that I could talking and explaining, because like we all develop bad habits training, and then obviously you're there to not just giving us the workouts and not just giving us like a little bit of banter, which is great too, a little bit of crack. So the fact stuff is awesome. But it feels like you're actually training with someone that's there, you know, and it's good. So it just changed the game for me. I really got into it. I started training, and then I came back. I'm probably the best shape I think I've ever been in right now. And it's just like being, not just using the app and being like consistent, but enjoying using the app and enjoying, like, doing all your workouts are great. They're dialed in, they're smart. There's just enough volume every day. And then hitting multiple body parts multiple times a week is great too. So I love that as well.
Yeah.
And yeah. So.
And how old are you?
I'm right 47, now? Yeah. I've been training since I was 15 years old.
Crazy.
Yeah, my dad, I was a bit of a chubby kid, and that's why I really have it's really easy for me to put the wrong type of weight on. But I was in the gym when I was 15, and I just, you know, but things happen, you fall in and out of love. But one of the things that was being consistent, and the 6 days really suits me, because I feel that's where I get my best gains. And again, not overtraining. 45 minutes, you're in, you're out.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for a lot of people to, it's easy to get sucked into overtraining, especially if you're wired. I think like you, like I think we both are. It's like, you know, we're not afraid to put the work in, and more seems like it would be more, and it's just not sometimes.
So yeah, so it's changed the game for me, man, and I meant that. And I've told everybody, again, really happy where I'm at, and I think of, like, you know what I feel with the body is sometimes it's like a momentum, right? It's like if you have a car that won't start, right, you got to push it out every door, but then once you get it going, it just takes off in itself. And I feel like the body, from my own experience, and I'm no bleeding nutritionist or scientist or whatever. Yeah, I don't know that much, but I feel from my own experience is that when I was dialed in at 228. I could eat whatever, right? But I was training constantly. I was doing the thing. So I felt like my metabolism was just roaring along. But once I stopped it, right, I felt it was going the other way. So it's just like, it's like trying to push a boulder up a hill. You push and you push. But then when you get up on top of it and it goes down, it's just like, it just coasts down. It does its own thing. And I feel like I was at that point where I was pushing that boulder up a hill. It felt like no matter how hard I trained, no matter the macros I had, the body was just still like, yeah, it was in that kind of like pause state, you know. It was just like, no, I'm happy being like this way, and I'm happy being this. But then now that I have it going, and that's why I love the 6 days, because the 6 days allows you to. And I know everybody can't do 6 days. Yeah, I feel like I'm just talking this whole conversation. No, it's good. It's good. You know, 6 days is great because that really helps you dial in. Because then, like, you have a workout, then you're going to have your protein shake, and you're going to have your meal, and you're going to have your pre-workout meal, and you're going to have your post-workout meal. When you dial it to 4 days, I feel like those 3 days, you can just develop a lot of bad habits. Sure. And again, for people who are not working out all the time, I get it. Like, you don't have the time, you don't have the luxury, your 9-to-5 job, you're stuck in traffic. But even doing something small, I feel in those days that you're not lifting, as opposed to taking a rest day, just some sort of
active recovery,
something like that.
Intensity, steady state,
it just keeps you dialed in, and it stops you like, well, I'll eat this, or I'll go on drink this and or I'll go on the lash, or
Yep.
I'll eat a load of fucking junk.
On
or,
the lash?
It's an Irish term. Going on the lash means going gargling. What
Going
we did last
gargling.
night.
Yeah,
What we did last night.
We went gargling last night.
Oh
yeah, we did.
I mean,
And the nice thing with 6 days is that you get the frequency. So you get those muscle groups twice a week, which is really important when it comes to trying to build muscle. Frequency is a big deal. So the fact that you can do 6 days is huge. Yeah. So you enjoyed the app. I mean, you put the work in, just had a simple plan to follow, and it worked. And you're in incredible shape right now.
Thanks, man.
I caught you on that. So this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but like I didn't follow wrestling. Like I didn't know what's going on with wrestling. Like a lot of my friends do.
Yeah.
But I just am clueless with some things. I mean, I watched it back in the day, as a kid.
Yeah.
So it's fun to get back into it. But someone was like, "Is that Sheamus in our team chat?" Someone was like, "Is it Sheamus on our team?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know." I just said, and then you had messaged me, and then I don't remember what we had said initially, but I was talking to my friend, and he was like, "The Sheamus," and I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize like." You were a superstar. I didn't.
I'm not. Listen to me. I hate that term sometimes.
I think
I'm just
that's what the name
lad.
key would say, though. Under your,
that's the name key.
I think that's what it said on McAfee. WWE superstar.
Yeah, I'm just a lad from Dublin, from Cabra West, the North Sider, and I just, for me, I'm just all about having the crack. Like I feel like my most important thing is to be grounded all the time. And one thing I've learned is you can never really ego can get in the way of a lot of things. Ego can make you like. Make the wrong decision purposely just to keep your ego, just to follow your ego or do what it says. Yeah. But like, no, I mean, listen, I said, I've been training since I was 15 and I've done pretty much every type of exercise and I knew I had to start somewhere and go back. And that's when the app happened. And, Isabella was using the app for like 2 years. She loved it. Like, and she was in there all the time, and she's again, like, I think the biggest part of it, like, what really works for ladder for me is the fact that there's the grid situation, right? So you like, especially when you're in the program and the series, which I think, and I'm not trying to speak out of turn here, but I think even when it's like the series, now the factor's a bit of a downtime before the next series. When does the next series start?
Next 2 weeks from now. Yeah.
I still think there should be some sort of like grid because you don't like.
Yeah, when you see your calendar, you're talking about.
Yeah, I think there still should be a calendar there.
Yeah, because you see the orange squares or the blue squares, whatever. Yeah, and they start filling up.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah,
and so you want that, man. It's kind of like I don't know if it's like a
psychological
Pavlov thing or whatever it is, or maybe I'm using the wrong behaviorist here, but it's all behavior, and you want to make sure you don't want empty spaces. You want to kind of fill it out. It's like you want to do the best you possibly can, and that's what really is. It holds you accountable, because no one wants to open up the calendar and look at it and see like all these grayed out days that are just you've missed. Because honestly, it does affect you. Like it's kind of like shit. I need to get that stuff done. So it definitely motivates in that way. On top of that, like the aspect of having a trainer, but not just you, like you talking in between sets is great because again, it's like having somebody there, and we all know like we're motivated. We have somebody there training. Training partner is fantastic. So it's basically a virtual training partner having you there. Yeah. As well as that, you're very relatable, very down to earth. There's a lot of people, and I've met these people over the years. Like they want to they think barking at people like. You're shit. You're no good. You're a fucking loser. You're like there's people that bark and they're like some sergeant in like in a platoon or some shit. You know what I mean? It's like
I do know
that doesn't motivate anybody. That doesn't motivate people. Like why do you think shouting at someone is going to motivate them? You're a piece of shit. It is like what? Like what the fuck? Like this like. It just to me it's like no. It's like that doesn't motivate anyone. You have to be on the level. Be somebody who kind of motivates you, but also but do it in a way that's encouraging.
Sure.
And that's what you do, mate. You know what I mean? And then the other thing I was super impressed with too was like the team chats. Like there's so much conversation going in there, and we all have our lives to live too. But like being able to you popping in there and reading stuff and interacting with them, that's the key, because that makes everybody who's involved in your team forged. Like everybody, most top trainers like yourself, but you guys know what you're doing, right? And a lot to do. But then what's the next piece that adds to that? It's the personality, man. It's the time you put in to you know, to care and showing you care and going an extra step and being involved and interacting with the people who are around you, because that's what they want. Everybody just wants to know a little tap on the shoulder, you know what I mean, or a little like pat in the back. Go, you're doing great. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, well, I think that's something that I immediately connect with you about is your personality, and you're just like down to earth, relatable. And we had this conversation yesterday about, you know, the jobs that you had previously and how you're not just a go-getter, but you're like a people person. And that comes through, and it comes across as like, you know, very genuine. And when I think of just wrestling, you just think of the personas, and you guys are uber famous, and it's very intimidating in that aspect. And you just, in the first instance of meeting you, just like all that comes tearing down, and you're just like so clearly just like a normal dude. And that's, I think more people should be able to see that with you. And I know that a lot of people know that about you, but that was one thing instantly I was like connected with you on. I'm like, you're the real deal.
Thanks, pal.
And you're chill.
I appreciate it. I try to be. Like, my dad kicked the bollocks out of me if I wasn't. My ma too. Listen, like,
same.
People, I think this day and age too, people want people to be real. There's nothing separates anyone else from anything else. Like this, just because I'm on TV doesn't mean like, you know, that people are better than other people or whatever. Everyone's on the level. Everyone's just trying to do their thing. And when people go up to me and ask me for a picture, an autograph, like, don't get me wrong. Now I'll have days where I'll have like the weight of the world on my shoulders. You know, we all have bad days. You know, and sometimes I'm dealing with stuff like, and hopefully I don't. You know, not that I don't. I'll never root anyone. Obviously, if I was trying, but like I just try and like sometimes like there are days, but 99.9% of the time, I'm very, very humbled when someone asks me for an autograph picture, because I know, like, you know, there'll be a time when those people might not know who I am. Like those people might know who like I walk down the street and people I've forgotten from WWE, or, you know, maybe down the road, or I'm not doing it. Like, so it's very humbling, and you have to forget it. Like, you got to live in the moment, but you also got to look at the bigger picture that these things won't last forever. And also, they're going out of their way, like, to say hello and ask for something. Like, it really is humbling, like, especially from where I came from, and knowing that my whole dream, my whole life was to become a WWE wrestler and do this and perform at the highest level, and to be able to do it now. June 30th, 2025 will be 16 years on the main roster. 16, yeah. And then September 17th, it'll be 18 years in America. So it's just that thing where, like, it's very humbling, and it's good crack. And do I get frustrated at my work sometimes? Yeah, of course I do. Like, do I have different ideas where my character should be on TV? Yeah, but at the same time, I always got to look at the sunny side of it and make the most of it, and have the crack and have fun, because that's what life's all about, man. Life's hard, life's tough, like, but you got to have the crack. You got to have a laugh, because you're not going to have a laugh and have fun. Then what's the point?
Facts, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
You have to have the crack. There you have a dog, Betty, right? Cancer, had a leg taken off, 3 legs. Not a bleeding bother on her. Smiling, rolling on her back, jumping on the couch, 3 legs. I look at her and I go, I'm moaning about some, like, stupid shit, like, that doesn't even do anything, or like, or a delayed flight, or the fucking AC, or a pipe burst in the gaff, or something stupid. Here's this dog running around on 3 legs, and as happy as Larry. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Like, why would I? But that's for everybody. Like,
it's true.
What are we doing? Like, so yeah, I always try and think positive. It's easy to say, we all go through our stuff, but I'm going off the rails here, Corey.
No, that puts things in perspective. No. I feel that way when I come home to my daughter, and it's like the best part of every day, and nothing else matters. Moments before this, I'm like stressed out of my mind. Like, I have a million things I have to do, and I'm just like rushing around, not present at all. Like, I'm somewhere else in another galaxy. And then she just brings me like right back. And that's
brilliant.
Yeah. Same thing.
That's brilliant. But I think everybody does that. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Like, today I was super chill. And like, just getting this stuff together. Like, I know we're tight on time because I'm leaving tomorrow. But like, even you getting stressed out, getting all this, getting the microphones ready, you know, getting this ready. Like, relax, it's grand. It's grand. Don't worry about it. They fed me and everything.
Yeah,
we did.
Made
an awesome meal.
Macro friendly.
Macro family.
You're part of my macro family. Let's go. I'll rapid fire, and then
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up.
This will be the first of a few podcasts up. Next time we get Drew on here as well, we'll both get into it.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
I want to know why can't I say it? Hold on.
Celtic Warrior workouts.
Celtic Warrior workouts.
Like I can't say, what did Grayson Waller call me the other night? A
masochist.
Masochist.
Yeah, you got it that time.
Because I like getting punched as hard in the ring. I just enjoy the physicality of wrestling. What can I say? I love the physicality of wrestling. I can't do this tippy-tappy stuff. I have to bring it.
You grabbed me yesterday.
Yeah.
You grabbed a hold of me yesterday. And I
was going to give you those 10 beats, man. 10 beats
to
the bar on there. You know what I mean, Corey? It's just going to bleed and lay you, man. But you're my mate, you know. So
you grabbed me with such force. I was having flashbacks.
Anger, rage.
To my dad. Yeah.
I'm the Red Hulk.
You are the Red Hulk, aren't you? So the Celtic Warrior workouts, out of all the ones that you've done, which one do you feel like has humbled you the most?
I think the most humbling workouts are always with the women. I think there was one, Becky did one where I had to stop. It was CrossFit. I hate CrossFit, but I had to stop. I was dead.
Just gassed?
Gassed, yeah. That was killer. There was another one, a girl called Zaya Lee, Chinese girl. She thinks she's in TNA. It's a different name now. I don't know what the name is, but she put me through a workout too. That was incredible. I was like, my T-shirt was just like, I might as well just put like, don't dunk it in a swimming pool and taking it back out.
What do you think it is about women workouts that are, it's just not stuff that you've been doing?
It's not stuff I've been doing, but it's also very much like, it's a lot very cardio based, but also it's very intense. I can't, there's a lot of volume in there and like a lot of moving around, but I don't know what it's like. They really train, like the female wrestlers in WWE, like they train really hard. Like there's another girl called Ivy Nile. She's got a great story. If you want to see, if you watch Celtic Warrior workouts, talks about how she, where she comes from. I think she's from Knoxville or just outside Knoxville, but she ended up on that show, The Rock show, like a Survivor thing. And now that she got signed. And she's doing great. She doesn't know anything about wrestling. Now she's killing it, right? She's with the Alpha Academy. And she was like, she had the flu and we did a workout and she's still bleeding. Just trounced me on this workout. Like, I mean, it's just, she's insane, but she's great and she just loves what she does. And you're around people like that, it's incredible. Lyra Valkyrie's another one. The women, I think, again, probably because my workouts are so close to what the lads do.
Yeah,
you know, like a lot of lifting heavy weights and stuff. Like I'm able to keep up. And
longer rest breaks. Like
But for the women, it's just, I'm always like,
it's good TV. It's good.
Okay, here we go. What are we doing? We're doing burpees into push-ups, and then we're doing hip thrusters with raises. There's one called Roxanne Perez that's coming out next week, and then there's one I just did with Stephanie Vicour.
Holy shit! How often do you record these?
We air them every 2 weeks. It used to be doing every week, but it was just so much.
That's so much.
Yeah. We do them every 2 weeks now. But I've gone into Orlando and I filled back-to-back ones. So I did Obafemi. I trained with him. He's a strong man. He was like, I think he was overhead pressing nearly 300 pounds.
Oh shit!
Behind the neck too, and his traps are so big that you know when you put a foam pad on the bar, and so like if you're doing like squats, he was bouncing the bar off his traps as if his traps were a foam pad. That's how, and not about it. And just, I think he used to be like a Olympic shot putter or something.
That's insane. When is this episode out? It's out?
The album one's out, yeah. And then Stephanie Vicour dropped that. Vicour. Is it Vicour? I still can't get it right. But that came out last week.
Yeah.
Next week is, there's another one coming out, but I can't.
And those are crushing right now.
Everything's doing great.
They're doing good.
Well, the whole promise, Corey, is the premise of Celtic Warrior Workouts has never been about me. It's never been about how great Sheamus is or look at me doing all these amazing things. It's always been a very humbling experience. It's always been about the other person's journey. I'm the host. The channel is a catalyst or platform for these other people to show a side of them that they don't get to see on WWE television, right? Sure. So it's like, you know, even like Ivy, people know Ivy, but they never known her story before. So it's kind of more relaxed setting, and like we work out, we kind of bond, everyone bond. We always bond with the people when you're working out, right? And then times of work out, they kind of loosen up and they're enjoying it, and they're getting to show off how they train. And I'm always bleeding. I always get the floor wipe. I'm always wiped with the floor, right? I'm always dragging on the floor at the end of the workout, which is great. But the other side of that is, so it's a platform to show these superstars and whoever else wants to get on it, men and women, to show them that, like, their story, their platform, what they've overcome to training, what are their favorite habits training, right? That's a big part of it.
Yeah, because everyone has a different mindset. They're carrying different stories, like you said, and different approach to training. So that's like incredibly informative. In addition to the personalities coming through that you don't get to see on TV. Yeah, because it's beautiful.
Because it gets the real person, the people we love. The other side of it is the fact that like now we're getting on to people who are like who need help, right? Who want to train. They're not happy with their lives. They feel unhealthy, right? They're looking for a way to change their lives. That's why that's where the word brave change, the kind of like slogan brave change came from, because they're making it brave. It's a brave change, a big step to go from not doing anything to working out, right? Which is kind of what you're doing too. You're inspiring these people, because people will jump on the app, right? They'll jump on the on Ladder app, but that's just the start, right? That's a great start. You get on the app, Ladder app, okay, right? That tells that person who's doing it, like, okay, I'm ready to make a change in my life. I'm ready to get healthier, to get fitter, whether it's for themselves, whether it's if they got kids, whether it's for their grandkids, whatever it is. But then there's a step after that where like now they gotta start working out, and that's, if you've never done that before, it's uncomfortable. So that's a whole process there as well. It's like, okay, that's where you come in. You're very relaxed with your little comments are funny. It's like, it's not all serious. It's not like, you gotta do the way, you gotta 6 reps max, you gotta push all your shit, you wanna be shit. You're like, you know what I mean? You're like, come on, you can do this.
I think the most important takeaway is that I'm
relatable.
Is I'm funny.
You are very funny.
Sheamus said I'm funny.
Dad jokes, lots of dad jokes. Dad jokes.
Yeah, dad jokes. You're right.
So
I'm not really funny.
You're very funny, man. You got a great sense of humor, lad. Because
I needed that.
You do.
I needed to hear that. Thanks.
They're great. But then the other side is like, again, just inspiring people to watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then again, if I'm there training, what now? Jesus, 32 years, right, lifting, or 31 years lifting, and I'm getting mauled in the gym, right? Or I'm gassing out hard and all. Like, it just tells the lesson there, or the message there to people at home is like, don't be afraid, man. I'm training all my life. There's nothing to be afraid of. Like, you leave your ego at the door. There's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all in this journey together. Nobody, if you open up Instagram and you see a guy and he's like this, or a girl and she's shredded, they didn't wake up like that. Exactly. There's a journey there. And I think that's something that's missing from some of these accounts, because where's their journey? That's unrelatable. You see the finished product, right? And that's great. I want to look like that person.
Sure.
But there's also something to be said about the journey that they got there. What sort of mountains do they have to overcome, or obstacles do they have to get over to get where they are now?
Yeah.
So that's basically it. It's all about inspiring, giving the talent who give their time to me to record an episode, which I'm always eternally grateful for, to show their story. I'm the host. It's not about me. And then on the other side, it's to show anyone watching who follow their favorite superstars or celebrities or whatever it is. They didn't start like this. They're real people like you.
Going through the same shit.
It's just...
Well, go check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, give it a go, man. Celtic Warrior Workouts. There's tons of episodes in there now. You'll be... I think we're almost at 1.2 million subscribers as well.
It's incredible.
So it's incredible, yeah.
You got the plaque.
I got the gold plaque. I got the silver plaque. Got the gold plaque.
That's beautiful. Did you hang it up somewhere?
Haven't hung it up yet, though. So I will. Once I get time, I'll do it.
Well, congrats, man.
Thanks, fella. What's the next question?
Well, let me tell you what I'm going to ask you first, and then you can see if it's something you want.
Just ask me. If you don't do it, just don't do it. Just ask me.
Well, it's a wrestling question, so I'm not sure if I'm the person that is.
Just ask me the question. Okay. And leave this in, by the way. This is good. Ask me the question.
When you think back over, you said 16 years
on television.
On the
main roster, I mean.
Yeah.
And in 18 years.
And it was your dream to get to the WWE.
Yes.
And so, is there a moment, maybe backstage, or just a moment that's not what people would expect? One that you think back to and you're like, you were fully present in that moment, having the realization that like your dream has come true, and maybe it's right before you step out on stage, maybe you ate something backstage. Is there something a memory that you have that's like a core memory connected to you realizing like, I've done this, like I'm here?
The first one, there's a couple. I remember I made my debut on ECW 16 years ago, and normally ECW is taped, right? So anything happens. So the way it used to work was Raw was on Monday, ECW was on Tuesday, right? And then SmackDown was on Thursday. So what would happen was ECW would air Tuesday. And so you tape Raw on Monday and then you tape ECW and SmackDown on Tuesday. So they're taped shows, right?
Yeah.
But ECW would be taped and then it would go out like, it would air at like 8 o'clock, but it'd be filmed at 7. So they could do some quick edits on stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then SmackDown would be taped, and then if there was anything wrong, they'd work on it, and then they'd go out on Thursday. So if anything was said or like any bad shots or something happened, they could edit it, right? They have a couple of days to edit it. But the thing was, so when I debuted ECW, it was called Talent Initiative. But what happened was we were on the West Coast, so it was live. So there was no like.
Yeah, you didn't have time to fix anything.
So if something went wrong, yeah. So
went wrong, yeah.
I was so nervous, man. And I think the next day after they were filming, and we're going to Australia. So I went straight from my debut to an Australian and New Zealand tour for WWE in 2009, sorry. So I remember like just being so nervous. And I'd done dark matches before. Dark matches are matches that are not on TV, right? But you still walk out. Before ECW starts, you walk out and it's non-televised just to get practice.
Yeah.
To get your feet wet.
And fans are here for this.
Fans are there, yeah.
Yeah.
But so this was like live. So there was no like second cage. There was nothing that was going to protect me. Like I was literally vulnerable because I was going out there and I was so nervous, man. I had this promo and I spoke in Gaelic. And you could tell I'm super nervous. But the guy who was in there, a guy called Oliver John, was amazing. He was just such a bleeding professional. I couldn't ask for a better talent, a wrestler to work with. He was brilliant, man. He was like so good, man. He was so good, Oliver John. And Oliver John, if you're watching this, to this day, mate, I really appreciate it because he was awesome. Everything went right. And then I just remember afterwards, like going on YouTube and just watching the match over and over and over and over again. That was one.
Yeah.
The second one was when I beat John for the W title in 2009, a couple of months later. And the belt is on the bed. I didn't really click, everything was such a blur and it was mad. And then the title was on the bed and I was just like looking at the title on the bed. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The title was held by lead like Savage, Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, The Sheik, Savage, Hogan, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Ultimate Warrior, like Austin, Rock. This is the title they all held, right? The pinnacle of our business. And there it is on the bed. And I'm there like, it's December. And I debuted at the very end of June. So you could technically say I debuted in July. So July, August, September, October, like 6 months.
6 months.
Like there's the title just on the bed. And I'm just like sitting down and I'm going like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on, man? Like, what's going on? Like, I just couldn't believe it. Cause I'm like, you go in there, you go, okay, you want to be WWE champ, right? You want it. That's what you want to do. But then it's like, I'm sure it's going to take years, like this, but like opportunities come at different times. Something happens, right place, right time.
Yeah.
But it was just there on the bed, and I was just like, this is mental. And then
that's incredible.
The third one would be my first WrestleMania match, which is insane. That's a blur as well. So nervous. And then the last one I think would be Clash the Castle after the Gunther match, the first time we wrestled in Cardiff, Wales, and then me picking myself up off the mat, and the whole, like, I don't know, 60, 70,000 people, I think. I don't know the numbers off heart, but like they just getting around, like get standing ovation. I was just like,
oh my God.
After like 14, nearly 15 years in the business, it was like, or not in the business, on WWE, like it just, I didn't expect it, and I was just overwhelmed, and it was one of those moments where I'm like, this is incredible. I'll remember this moment for the rest of my life.
When you think back to that moment, is it like a movie in your mind, or what do you see?
It's more vivid than anything else. I mean, it happened more recently, right? But like, it's still a very, very vivid moment. I can see it like frame by frame. I just remember it, and it's something I'll take, like I'll take to me grave. I'll remember for the rest of my life that moment in Cardiff, Wales. Like not even in Dublin, man. Like I'm from Dublin, I'm Irish, but right across the river is Wales, and Welsh are Celts, Scots are Celts, Irish Celts, but like there's a strong connection there. There's a big rivalry between the Celts, but there's also a big understanding of who we are and our values and what we stand for, And I just remember being in there, again, not even in Ireland, in Wales, Cardiff, Wales, and I was just like, wasn't expecting it. And it just blew me away, man. And that's one of the most vivid, most amazing memories I'll ever have in my career. And to think, before that, I was offered a bit of a really bad concussion, but like, they're the moments that's the reason I think people are like, if they retire too soon or whatever, like, you just don't know what moment is around the corner. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, that's why it's always, with life, you just don't know. Like, there's another one, there's coming out. Like, you don't want to be. You don't want to be like obsessed with it, or the next one and the next one. Like, and I need another one, a moment, I need another thing or whatever. Don't do that, but like, also when it happens, it's just incredible. And to me, it was just one of the biggest moments of my career. And I didn't win anything. I lost. I was IC title match and I lost, but I went down fighting. Yeah. And he got me flowers, and I got the roses or whatever, or, your thing at the end. But like, it just made me realize, sometimes when you lose, you win.
Did you take a moment? How long did you kind of revel in that before? Because I know that you're similar to me in that it's like, not on to the next belt or whatever, but on to the next thing. How long do you feel like you were in that moment, soaking it up before you moved on to the next?
I went on my bachelor party the next day in Dublin. So
okay,
drinking Guinness out of a shoe and all that sort of stuff.
Holy shit!
So yeah.
Well, listen. Thanks so much for coming on. I know you don't have a ton of time, and I appreciate you giving some to me. So
my pleasure, man. You've helped me so much. Again, for people who they're looking for something, or the channel is fantastic, but also like, to have the app and have you, like, an app can be an app, mate. You know what I mean? And a fair play to Ladder. They've done a great job. And again, I use it all the time, and I love it. I love the system of like being accountable for days you've gone. The way it's set up and all, it's great, and the reminders. But like, that can just be an app. An app is an app, but it's the trainers that give it heart. And they've obviously picked the best trainers, and you're one of the best trainers, mate. So you are one of the best trainers in this group. So, being honest here, it's not like I'm not trying to be, kiss your arse here and then, Corey, but like, that's how it works, right? And so all an app is just a platform. That's it. Like, Celtic Warrior workouts, just a platform. It's the content that goes in it, and it's the people that are in the episodes. It's the trainers that are in Ladder that make you kind of feel involved, that make you feel that you're being pushed, that people that they actually give a shit about you. Yeah. So that's what makes it tick, and that's why 6 months in now using it, like, I feel I'm in the best shape I've been in for years. I'm not the shredded guy I was in 2019, but I don't want to be that guy, because it's not. You
learn the lesson. You learn that it's not sustainable. It's truly not.
No, when I got into that shape, it was great. Like, to have look at pictures and go,
exactly,
I did that.
Exactly,
but like, to do a day-to-day life, it's not good. But where I am now, the way I feel, I'm never hungry. I'm always like, I have loads of energy. I'm loving my training. That's where I want to be. Yeah, and that's where I'm at right now. That's because of you, man. And that's, again, why Ladder works.
I appreciate you.
An app is just an app, but you're the guy who brings the heart.
You're the fucking man, bro.
Appreciate it, bro. Love you, dude. Thank you so much. Thanks, mate.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
I appreciate it. Next time we'll drink less whiskey, okay?